From Super League to Olympic distance to age group world records to Kona. Go longer with the right fuel at the right time with SFuels.
This is a phenomenal bike ride, and I can tell you he's so casual. This is his first time he's ever biked the full 112 miles here in Hawaii. He's never been up to the turn in Harvey. He's certainly been up there today. Doesn't he look...
In A-L-O-H-A, a little aloha in our day. Spread a little aloha around the world, 'cause it's breakfast with Bob.
And Poncho Man, and welcome to our 11th year of Breakfast with Bob from beautiful Huggos on the Rocks. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Master Spas. SFuels go longer. HOKA Let's Fly. Form Smart Swim Goggles. Quintanaroo, Zoot, the original triathlon brand. And, of course, our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, Paralympic silver medalist, Ironman world champion, Ironman 70.3 world champion, the great Lauren Parker joins us.
Thanks for having me.
Are you excited to be back here in Kona racing?
I'm so excited. You know, having raced here twice as an able-bodied athlete, and for the last 5 years I've wanted to come back here. It's been my goal to finally get here and race as a para-athlete, and I'm so excited to be here.
So, Lauren, you were here in 2015, and you were on stage with Mike Riley and I with a silver medal for 25 to 29-year-old age group. And then the following year, you went pro?
Yeah.
And did you do some races as a pro that year in 2016?
I did. Most of my races, because I had a lot of injuries in my triathlon career, the races I started, I didn't finish the run, and that was the plan, because my goal was set on 2017 Ironman Australia, so I really had to be non-injured for that event. So in 2016 I was just racing for experience,
right.
And I remember racing Ironman Switzerland, and I was racing Daniela, and
no way.
Yeah, we were both swimming together, and I did 55:10 and she did 55:16. And then it went downhill for me from there because I was injured, but for 2016 I was just racing for experience.
You got to get that experience and do the swim bike. You knew you couldn't run, so just go as hard as you can. So 2017 was a year. And April 18th, 2017, what happens?
Yeah, so training for Ironman Australia, it was the first time where it was a race I was going into not injured, and I had 8 stress fractures in my legs in my time of doing triathlon, so I had a really great preparation, and I'd really improved on the bike and the run, and I was in it to win it. I believed that I could, and April 18th, 2017, I was out on a training ride, and both my tires burst, and I went into a guardrail at 45 kilometers an hour, and I was instantly paralyzed from the waist down. I had a lot of other injuries, broken lungs, punctured lungs, broken ribs, broken pelvis, and obviously broken back, and that's what injured my spinal cord, was my broken spine. And
so at that point, obviously you hadn't been exposed to parasport. You really didn't know what was out there. And when we chatted in July of that same year, you said you wanted to stay in triathlon, that was a sport you loved, and eventually to one day get back to Kona.
Definitely. Like after my accident, I thought my sport was over, that I've been an athlete all my life and that I had nothing to live for then, and then I found out that it was possible to get back into the sport that I loved, and para-triathlon did exist. So I was really excited to find that out and set new goals.
And what was cool is the first para-triathlon in the Paralympics is 2016. So it already happened, and so you knew that was possible for 2020, that you could potentially go to the Paralympics.
Yeah, and I was excited about that it was a possibility, and I got straight back into training after leaving rehab, after 6 months in hospital and rehab, and I got the inspiration when you invited me over to San Diego to the Challenged Athletes Foundation best day in Tri weekend, and when I arrived there I saw the possibilities of what was possible, that there's no such thing as the word can't, that you have abilities now, not
not disabilities.
Yeah, exactly.
You're dealing with challenges.
Yeah.
And with the right equipment and the right support and the right coaching, you can overcome those. So you get a hand cycle and you get a racing chair. And how long was it from your injury to you going to the Commonwealth Games?
That was 11 months.
11 months.
Yeah.
And you got a bronze medal.
I did.
So 11 months. So in terms of, I always say that the spiraling depression that comes after an injury is the worst, obviously the worst part. So if you can get a goal and can you reset yourself for something, that'll make a huge difference. Did that make a huge difference for you?
It definitely did. Like, getting back into sport is definitely what saved me after my accident, because you can spiral down into depression. You can think that you've got nothing else to live for, that your life is over, living, because, you know, life has changed 100% living in a wheelchair. And setting new goals and having something to work towards definitely helps overcome those challenges and overcome the injury, and really think of your life now as, you know, you've had a past life. Now you have to focus on the future and the positives and what you can do.
Well, you focus on, I had an athletic career before. Now I've got a different athletic career with a different goal. And maybe my goal before was Ironman. It wasn't going to be the Olympics. But now the equivalent of the Olympics, the Paralympics, becomes the goal. You win a world championship, and then you go to Tokyo, and in one of the greatest races ever, I know you don't consider it the greatest race ever because you got the silver medal, but Kendall Gretsch caught you right at the finish, and you guys got gold and silver and probably got more exposure than most of the other races. If you had just won the race, you wouldn't have got the exposure that you got from the two of you pushing each other to get the gold and the silver and be separated by. It was a race of the games. You were separated by less than a second.
Yeah. That definitely hurt. I was in it to get the gold medal.
I know.
And I didn't have the day that I wanted. But, you know, when I look back at it now, getting that silver medal, not many people have a Paralympic Games silver medal. And knowing what I'd been through in the last, 5 years since my accident,
right,
what I've had to overcome to get there, I can only be proud.
Well, and the other stuff you've gone through, you were getting ready to go do the Ironman World Championship in St. George, and you had your feet up on the dashboard. You end up with, what, third-degree burns?
Yeah.
Sun coming through, and you're not feeling it.
Yeah.
And there was obviously, we're talking about potential amputation. That didn't happen, fortunately. But when you went to that race, the kind staff from the hospital, right, they took care of you all day long.
They did, and they made it possible for me to race the 70.3 World Championships in St. George.
Oh, the 70.3 Worlds,
yeah,
that's right,
yeah.
Yes.
And I had to have my feet changed with the dressings in every transition and before and after the race. And the wonderful staff and nurses were there to help me, and I'm really good friends with them now. So
and some of them are here.
Yes, my friend Marcy is here helping me in transition this time again. So I'm really thankful that I was able to get that help in St. George.
Well, this is like you're back to your roots, because you go and you win 70.3 Worlds. Then you were at Ironman World Championship St. George, which is brutal. 7,000 feet. Was that the toughest day you've ever had?
Definitely the toughest day. When I think back now, I don't know how I was able to complete that course. It was absolutely brutal, that bike and the run course.
Yes.
And to do the whole thing with my arms was definitely tough.
That's why you got the gun show going there. I can see that. And then now it's sort of full circle. 2015, you get a silver medal here in Kona.
Yeah.
This is the dream, right? You always wanted to potentially win an Ironman World Championship title on this island. Now that's potentially in front of you.
It is, and to come back here now definitely has mixed emotions. I wish I was racing as an able-bodied athlete. I look at all the pro girls now, knowing that I could have been there. But being out there with them, I leave 2 minutes after the pro girls. It's definitely exciting, and my goal is to catch some of them in the swim.
I think we might need to put a challenge out there with $100 for the CAF for every pro that you catch in the swim. That would be pretty fun.
Be cool.
You guys up for that? I think we'll have to check that out and see how many pro women you end up catching. That's going to be pretty cool. 2 minutes isn't a lot of time.
No. I'm really looking forward to the challenge tomorrow brings. It's going to be one tough day out there in the heat and the sun, because on the hand cycle you're looking straight up at the sun the whole time.
Right.
And you're just burning. Your legs and face is burning. So it's going to be one long day, but I'm looking forward to crossing that finish line.
And having Mike Riley call you again across the line. And this will be his final time. That'd be pretty fun for you.
Yeah, very special.
And so is another Paralympics in the plans for 2024?
Definitely. 2024 is the next goal after here. And next year I'll be focusing on the sprint distance racing and qualifying for Paris. 5 weeks after racing Kona, I have the sprint World Championships in Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
So straight back to sprint distance. So I quickly have to recover from here.
You're just like Christian and Gustav, going from long distance to short distance. Did you find yourself going when you go from long to short? Oh my God, that workout was pretty short. Is it easier to go from long to short in terms of the workouts?
Definitely, and it definitely gives you confidence. Knowing you've done an Ironman, 20 kilometers, in a sprint
Chopped
distance.
liver. It's a cocktail weenie.
It's a walk in the park. So
I love it. Lauren, we love having you as a representative of Challenged Athletes Foundation. We love what you bring to our world. Thank you so much for being so special.
Thanks, Bob.
Lauren Parker, everybody. Reigning Ironman world champion.
A little aloha in our day. Spread a little aloha around the world. 'Cause it's breakfast with Bob.
And Pancho Man, everybody.